Think back, way back when you were a child, before you even cared about your first car, before you even knew what a credit score was. What was the absolute first thing they told you needed to be successful? That was a non-negotiable step. You have to go to college. It wasn't a suggestion. It wasn't an option. It was a commandment. You were 5 and your future was already decided. You have to go into debt for a piece of paper, or you simply fail. They sold it as the golden ticket and they sold it as leverage. Well, they lied. College degree isn't the key to freedom anymore. It's about a $1.8 trillion anchor dragging an entire generation to the bottom of the financial ocean. The entire system is rigged. The schools get the cash. The lenders get debt slaves forever. This isn't just hard times. This is a predatory system designed to keep you on a financial hamster wheel. They want you to compare today's $10,000 public tuition bill to your grandfather's $400 bill from the 1970s and think, oh, it's just inflation. Well, we need to talk about buying power. In 1970, the average in-state tuition for a year at a public university was around $394. The federal minimum wage was $1.60 per hour. A full-time student working a full-time summer job for 13 weeks could earn roughly $832. That summer job could pay for college for 2 years. Boom. 2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths. Now, fast forward today, the in-state tuition is about $10,560. Federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. A full-time summer job earns you about $3,770 pre-tax. You have to work 6 times as many hours today just to cover the same cost of education. It has outpaced inflation by an insane margin. It has become a financial burden that has skyrocketed while wages, even for those with a degree, your grandpa uses labor, now you use debt. That's the difference. And under the Big Beautiful Bill Act from the Trump administration, with changes taking effect July 2026, they are putting new caps on graduate borrowing and eliminating the Grad Plus loan program that lets students borrow up to the full cost of attendance. They created 2 tiers. First tier, professional degree. This includes law, medicine, dentistry, up to $200,000 lifetime federal borrowing cap. And for graduate degrees, basically everything else is capped at $100,000. So the new rules exceeds essentials, high demanding fields like nursing, social work, and physical therapy from the professional tier. They're shutting it lower to a $100,000 cap. Graduate nursing programs can cost to $120,000 or more. By capping federal borrowing at $100,000, the government is creating a mandatory funding gap. That gap forces students to do one of 2 things. They either don't boss up and get the money themselves, or they go to the private loan market. They go to Sally Mae that's been knocking at your door ever since. They won't stop calling you. Your phone ringing. Oh, come pick up your phone. So that remaining $20,000 or $50,000 is going to be way higher than the federal rate. So the government isn't solving the tuition crisis. They're simply transferring the risk to someone else. Well, that's your problem. And forcing them into the high interest private lenders. So you could say it's betrayal, or you could just say they're cutting the fat off. Depends how you want to look at it. And if you think public university is a trap, then private university is an organized crime ring. You're not paying $10,000 for a year. You're paying $40,000, $50,000, $70,000 a year. Why? Well, the name of that college brings luxury. You're paying for the perceived prestige of that title, of the name, of the logo on the sweatshirt. They know you and your parents are chasing the status, and they price it accordingly. This prestige tax does not guarantee you a better education or a better job. It does guarantee you a bigger debt balance. And let's talk about where your money is actually going. It's not going to the small class sizes or better professors. It's going to the luxuries, the $100 million football stadium. The lazy rivers, the climbing walls, the gourmet dining halls. They are building a resort to attract students, and they're making you pay for the mortgage on the facilities you barely use. You're paying for the stadium, not the syllabus. And let's talk about the financial aid game. Private colleges love to advertise big financial aid packages. I got so many private college financial aid packages. They look good on paper, but once you start to read that fine print, you're like, what the f? But often, these grants and scholarships are just tuition discounts baked into the price. They mark up the price 500% and then give you a 40% scholarship to make you feel special, while still walking away for a massive, life-altering debt load. You are paying a massive premium to buy a brand name that the job market is increasingly ignoring. And let's say, look, you did what you were told. You jumped through the hoop, you paid the debt, and you hit the job market. Now, you realize the devastating truth. Your degree is now a commodity. It's not a key anymore. The market is saturated. The last generation told everyone to go to college. Now we have an oversupply of degrees chasing stagnant number of high-paying entry-level positions. And we have AI taking those entry-level positions. Look at computer science degrees. Everyone was told told to get a computer science degree and saturated. Before computer science, it was a finance degree. The cycle keeps getting repeated over and over again. Underemployment is now the new normal. Think about it. You get a bachelor's in economics, you learn a complex market analyst, you know micro, macro trends, and the only place that's hiring is your nearest Walmart. Work for your high school graduate to do. And now companies started using degrees as a minimum screening tool. A baseline requirement for a job that pays what a high school graduate made 20 years ago. They force you to overqualify for an underpaying job. You are bringing 6 figures of debt worth to the table to a job that pays only $45,000 a year. That math doesn't work, but to the companies, they know it works. You know why? Because you're desperate. You're desperate to pay off that debt you took out. You're very desperate to pay off that biology degree you took out $100,000 worth of debt to take on. Now, you gotta take a sucker job, a job you didn't want to take, but now you gotta do what you gotta do to pay the bills. So the system took your money for a high value product, and when you got to the checkout, they informed you the market no longer values it. And why does tuition keep spiking? The universities will tell you it's for better gyms, smaller classes, and climbing walls. And the real answer is the government backs it. It's guaranteed money for the colleges. This is the Bennett hypothesis. It's the core of the scam. When the government, through federal loans and grants, makes billions of dollars of credit unlimited and easily accessible to students, the universities have a light bulb go off in their head. Think about it. Students get federal loans. They have easy access to money, so the price feels disconnected from sticker price. The colleges sees the guaranteed money, whether it's a direct loan or a plus loan. The university knows the check is coming from the federal government or a bank with a government guarantee. It's basically risk-free revenue. So when tuition rises and the university say, why charge a student $5,000 when we know every student can now borrow $10,000? So now tuition is now $9,500 and they let the student take out the loan for the remaining amount. It's basically created a vicious loop. So when the federal government is trying to make college accessible, it actually becomes the single greatest enabler of the tuition cost crisis. So you took on the debt, you graduated, now you face the ultimate betrayal, the repayment plans designed to keep you paying for 2 decades. You're offered a variety of plans and they all boil down to 2 types of paying. First plan is the standard plan. This is a plan most people take. It's around 10 years. Your payment is fixed, it pays off the loan fast, and you pay the least amount of interest. It sounds great, right? Except your monthly payment plan is often $500 to $1,000. That's wild, an amount that's impossible to swing while trying to afford rent, groceries, and the cost of life, especially right out of school. And now you have the IDR plan, also known as the income-driven repayment plan. These plans are the soft velvet trap. Your monthly payment plan is based on the percentage of your discretionary income, sometimes as low as $0. But there's a massive catch. Interest still accrues. This is where the real scam lives. Your small IDR payment often doesn't cover the monthly interest on your loan. The difference is added to your principal, and it starts to capitalize. You're making monthly payments every month, being a responsible adult, but your loan balance is still growing. You are running as fast as you can just to fall further behind. You're trading 10 years of high payments for 20 or 25 years of interest hell, only to have a potential tax bomb waiting for you on the forgiveness amount. So you can't change the spiral, but you can control your leverage. First, don't go to private school. It's not worth it. No private debt. Max out federal loans if you have to. Then stop. Choose the cheapest, fastest path to the highest paying skill. Get that skill, then get the asset. Acquire that skill that pays. Build your credit, that adult GPI I've been talking about in my past videos, and use the bank's money to buy assets, real estate, or a business that pays you back. Do not buy debt that only takes from you. They want you to be a debt slave for 25 years, and then after those 25 years, take on that 50-year mortgage. So then you're a debt slave for 75 years.